and start off with the prayer. Amin-Ra, Mdw Ntchr, ntchru Mdw Ntchr, Amin-Ra, Mdw Ntchr.
Mdw Ntchr.
We're in week number 8. It's November the 22nd, and we are the mid course. In other words, we completed 7 weeks, and it looked like we have seven more weeks to go, 7 more classes. So time is moving on, and we got a lot to cover today. So let's, if you have your books, Spiritual Warriors or Healers, you may want to get that out because I'm going to refer to it. And if you'd like to take out some of your papers, the reference sheets, the alphabet, biliteral and triliteral, I will refer to those sheets also. So let's go to one of the documents. Wouldn't you know, I had it right in front of me. Well, I'm going to share my screen and go to the document week 11. Week 11, I'm kind of jumping around. And can everyone see this document in front of you with the ntchru?
Here.
Oh, good. Before I continue, I just want to see who's here. We have Nzinga, we have Baba. What name would you like us to call you, Baba?
Baba is fine.
Okay, and we have Ntchr, that's Benjamin, and Stephanie, and Tai. Hi, young lady.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you. And we have Christopher. So now I'm going to share my screen and go back to where I was just placed. The ntchru should be right in front of you. This first image is a saw. You have the throne, which is a chair. If you can see that, this is a very rough sketch. So this is a chair, and this is the eye. And this third symbol is the ntchr. You can tell a ntchr by the beard and the stance, the way it's sitting, the position. But most of all, look for that beard on the little ntchr. This is our saw, ASR. If you will turn to your book to a saw, I'll give you a second. It's on page 77 in a new edition. He is the ruler of eternity and the master, the neb of everlastingness. This is how you render and write the image of Asa. Let's go to our set. If you turn to page 80, 80, Set is the divine mother. She is her name is rendered with the same chair. You call it a throne. You see the T. The T is the letter T. It's a loaf of bread. And this elliptic symbol stands for flesh or a woman's organ. And you have a little deity. She has hair and she is shaped just like the male Ntchr, but she has no beard. That distinguishes the two ntchru. The third one is ntchr. We're going to get into spelling right now. If you have your alphabet in front of you, you see the courtyard. The reed shelter is an H. The lips are the R. And here's the quail chick. Is HRU or HRW. Now, this little bird, I don't think what you need to do is just memorize this. This little bird is a warbird. It's called a swallow. And this is how you sketch it, stick figure. WR or UR. So this symbol spells out to be ntchr. If you go to page 99, you'll see ntchr. He's the perfection of Ra in creation. ntchr means Ntchr the elder or Ntchr the great. This little bird means great. So go to the next one. So we have Wa, Sanu, Shamu, Fadu. Fadu is, this is the folded cloth. Is a S. T. And this is the lake, which is a SH. If you look at your alphabet, you'll see that it spells out Satesh. STSH. And you see it in parentheses here. If you see my cursor, you'll see it right here. The name is Satesh or Set. And this is the little animal that depicts the image of Satesh. You can see that on page 140. Go to 140. See, we practicing our alphabet as we doing this. Satesh was basically the manifestation of blind force, the Ntchr of Isfet, darkness. He ruled by might and force. You can read that on 140. So we just finished for do. We go into DU, number DU. This is a basket, which is neb. The loaf of bread is T. This rectangular shape means it's another way to represent house. So it's nebet het. Het is house. And you have a little female Ntchr here. Nebehet. You see it on right here in writing. When you pronounce these the letters, when you pronounce the letters, you added E for the you add a vowel E usually. in order to pronounce it. Nebet het. Let's go to Sisu, which is 6. This is a reed flower with the N, the wave of energy, and the P, which is a mat, and the quail chick. ENPU, or U or W. It reads INPU, INPU is right here. INPU. Let's go to page 87 to look at INPU. And this little figure is a determinative, which is a jackal, is a black jackal. He's in charge of the mummification and embalming. Let's go to the next, which is Sefeku. Sefeku is 7. This is Haru. We had one Haru here, up here, and it was spelled with the reed shelter, even though it's a HRU, but here is spelled differently. I think it's a more royal way of spelling Haru. You have another way of rendering H, which is the twisted flax, and the divine face with the lips. H, and then you have a determinative right in the middle of this name, but it still means HRU, Haru, with the determinative. If you see it's a little beard here, you just have to use your imagination. It's a Ntchr with the beard. You can also draw a hawk, which is the same as Haru, is the same name. So you don't have to spell it out like this. If you are versed in Mdw Ntchr, you know automatically that this is Ntchr Haru, the hawk. The falcon. There's a difference. Geb, we're going to spell this out. Geb. This is the G and the B. Geb with the Ntchr. Newt. You know the new job. This is in your biliteral. New, and it spells out N-U-T on the top. The determinative is the sky, het. You don't pronounce that. It's a determinative with another determinative.
Excuse me, could you
Yeah.
go back up to the gap? I was trying to.
Let's look at page 89. Okay. Geb. Geb is like a goose. This is a goose. And this goose is a word. And this leg and foot is the determinative. So you have to know the word and just memorize that this goose is GB, is a full word, is a full name with the complement. You didn't have this before, so thanks for pointing this out. So sometimes you just have to remember some of the symbols. Geb is the goose which is a full word with the complement and the determinative. Is that okay? Yes,
You.
to you. Geb is the Ntchr of the earth. You can read about that on page 89. Going to Peseju, number 9. Again, the Ntchr spells out newt with the T, the bread, the loaf of bread. The sky underneath is a determinative and the Ntchr is a determinative. So you can have 2 or 3 determinatives in the same name or the same word. Shu, Mdw. This is in your alphabet. If you look at your sheet, you'll see SH. And SH, and you have a feather. This feather is a determinative. So you go to the next word is the U. So you have SHU. You got 2 determinatives there. This feather, let's look at page 142. You see, Shu has a feather on top of his head. So that is denoting that feather. He's the Ntchr of air. Anytime you see a feather, it represents air. It's a determinative. You do not articulate or pronounce it. It's SHU with the determinative, a beard, with a beard. If you look at your book, you'll see the image of Shu, and then you'll see a little diagram right there in the middle of the page. It's spelled out Shu also with the feather and the quail chick and the determinative. You see it written out. Any questions? So I'm just going over this so that you can identify these, the ntchru. You could look at it and look at the word and spell it out, or look at the symbol that they represent. Because you may sometimes in ancient texts, you may just see a feather and you have to identify that even though it's not written out. It may be.
I have a question.
Yes.
On, I think it's newt and maybe on Tefnut. Is there something on top of their head?
You saying Tefnu?
On both of them.
Newt?
Newt and Tefnut. It just, I don't know, looked like there was a.
Well, it is something on top of the head. Let's look at 124. Newt has a Ntchr on top of her head. And I just explained that. Even though you can't, it's not rendered the way it should be, but it's this jar that's on top of her head. Look on page 128. Excuse me, 124.
I see.
And this Ntchr should be on top of her head. So when you see Newt with that jar, you would identify the Ntchr by the headdress or the crown. And we didn't get to Tefnut yet. She probably has the same, yeah, she has the same jaw on top of her head. We didn't get to her yet. Shu, we just did that. Here's Tefnut. Her name is spelled out the same way. T-F-N-U-T. Do you see that? And she should have this jaw on top of her head. And you see the letters here, T-F-N-U-T, to identify Tefnut.
She has the cobra, and in the book she has something different.
So let's go there. 147.
He has the soul, like the solar disc, I think. Is solar disc with the cobra?
Well, you're right, but she could be depict both ways.
Okay.
Tefnut. You can identify her with both symbols, because it says the twin sister and complement of Shu. Her father, the Ntchr, Atum. She is the Ntchr of water or moisture in the form of dew and rain. So she is the form of moisture and rain. Therefore, it would make sense to have a jar, you know, as a head ornament.
So you can use either or?
You can use either or.
Okay.
So Tefnut is the fluid from which all life comes. She is the mother of Geb and Nut. And if you see in her name, it identifies her, which is her name has N-U-T in her name. You see what I'm saying? So here's the T, here's the F, and here's the N-U-T. This is her name, Tefnut. That's the jaw on top of her head, Nut. You see? So sometimes you read these symbols and you have to go back and look what it's saying to you. It's telling you that Nut is part of her name. All right. Sometimes you just have to absorb some of this and read it. Ptah. What image is this? Where my cursor is. The question is, what letter is this?
It's a P.
And here.
T.
And the
H.
twisted cloth. And what does it read?
Twisted flex is ptah.
It's ptah with the determinative.
With the determinative. Okay.
So you're reading these names. And sometimes you will not see it printed out. Sometimes you see ptah as a idiom. Idiom is you see it and is what it is. So let's look at ptah on page 127. If you see ptah in this image, you would automatically identify him. And you would identify his image or the writing of his name. You got it?
Here.
Ptah is kind of rendered like a man with wrapping. And most of the time you would see him with the staff that he's carrying. and you would see a beard. So he would be identifiable just as he is, or in his written name. Let's go to Ra. Ra is written out. If you look at this, you can just pronounce it and look at the letters. The mouth is a aura, the hand and arm is a A. Aura A. The sun and the ntchr, these two are determinatives. Amen. The reed flower. Who knows this symbol here?
It's min.
Okay, and this, the bottom
N.
symbol.
N. It's an N.
Okay, and it spells out this could be an E, a I, or an A. So this is Amen with the ntchr. Here you have the same thing, but only with Ra and the ntchr. Amen Ra. Any questions? Here, some of this you have to remember or pick up some of the vocabulary. This symbol, the second symbol, is a sleigh, like a snow sled. So it resembles a sleigh. And it's TM. Is written as TM, is a vocabulary word. So it's I or ATM. The owl is a complement. So it picks up the TM in this biliteral. And then you have the determinative. Atom or atom. So let's do this quickly. Jehuti, you can write out his name, or you can use an image of an ibis bird. You can identify him with written word, with a written name, or a image. This is the J and the H, the U and the T. Jehuti with the determinative. This is an idiom, which is, it is what it is. Jehuti.
And the two lines under there could be a E or a Y.
Yes.
Could be a Y.
Yes. Thanks for pointing that out. This is two strokes. It's written right here also where my cursor is. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. I have to come out of this. And if you have any questions, form your questions now before I exit.
I have one question, and it's in reference to Jehuti. When you're reading in the book, it says sound of arm. Can you tell me what sound of arm means?
1 second. Go to 103. Let's go to Jehuti. And what was the question?
What does, I know it's a little off topic, but explain what sound of arm mean when it says Jehuti is sound of arm. What does it mean to be sound of arm?
The sound of aura?
No, sound of arm, like your arm. It says sound of arm. You said Jehuti is sound of arm. What does that mean?
Sound of arm.
He says, yeah, who is Jehuti? You have to come to him to submissive Jehuti, who is sound of arm, wise among the Enid.
Where are you reading that? Where are you reading?
It's actually on 104. 104, coming forth by light, utterance 18. And it's at the bottom. It's the last sentence, beginning first three words of the last sentence on page 104. I mean, if I just want to know what that meant, because I read it, but I don't know what it means.
Who is sound of arm? Why?
Yes.
Sound of arm.
I keep reading that and I keep wondering what does it mean to be sound of arm? Is it
Accepts
talking
the
about strength?
submissive, who is sound of arm. Who keeps the book, who punishes crime, who accepts the submissive, who is sound of arm, wise. I would read that as he is wise.
Okay.
He is strength. He is stable. Sound of
Okay.
arm. He is wise. So it's the same idea in different words. Jehuti is the nature of articulate thought, speech, action, and writing.
Right.
And Jehuti governs over what we're doing now. He's the Ntchr of Mdw Ntchr.
Mhm.
He created the arts and the sciences and the law, and he created the Mdw Ntchr, divine manifestation of writing, articulate speech, the recorder of time, teacher of mysteries of Amenta. So what we are studying now is under the umbrella of Jehuti. I want to go back to where we were and finish up. I chose this lesson to practice some of the alphabet. So it's multiple purpose to review the ntchru and also to practice how to read some of the letters in the alphabet in biliteral. So you got a practice lesson here. We just looked at Jehuti. The next one is Ma'at, where my cursor is. And if you see the sickle, this is in your biliteral as Ma, M-A. So this is a combination of different letters that spells out Ma'at. You have M-A, you have the arm and the hand, which is an A, and you have the loaf of bread, T. Then you have the little Ntchr, Ntchret is the female Ntchr. You call it Ntchret. She has a little leaf, a feather, which is the feather of Ma'at. The next one is Sheshat. You can look at this on page 137. Sheshat is the Ntchret of numbers, measurements, mathematics, letters, literature, and she's the mate of Jehuti. Sheshat, she's usually seen with this headdress with the, what is it, 7-petal flower. This is her symbol. When you see Sheshat, you see her on 137, she has the 7 petals flowers on her head as a headdress. And here's the inverted horns. You don't see it in this symbol, but in the book, there's inverted horns. It's like I think that's the cow horns or the bull horns. She's related to excuse me, knowledge. And she is the Ntchr of the library of literature and letters, Shishat. Her name is not spelled out, but there's a way to spell her name. Maybe with the folded claw, the lake, the SH, and the T. But here you got an ideogram that spells out her name. It's a picture. It is what it is. But if you was to spell it, you would use the alphabet to spell Shishat. Sekhmet. Let's look on page 134. And she's the daughter of Ra, the Ntchr, that personifies fear, that personifies destructive heat of the sun. The daughter of Ra. Here's her name is spelled with an S, the doorbell, the K, which is a basket with the handle, the M and the T. It sounds out Sekhmet, SKMT. And then you add the vowels just to pronounce it. I'm not sure what's on her head, but we'll find out. Going forward, who knows what this symbol is where my cursor is?
The vulture moth.
Yes, you're right. It is the vulture. And who is it? Moot. Yes. So this is an ideogram. And this would identify it as moot. This is in your triliterals, M-U-T. Is not spelled out, but it has the complement, moot, which is the complement and the determinative. It's in your triliterals. And the last one is kansu. Look on page 108. Kansu is the Ntchr and the son of Amin-Ra. His name derives from the root word kins, which means to travel. Some people, they invoke the image of Kansu when they travel, when they move place to place and they need protection. Sometimes they invoke the principle of Kansu. And that you see is a placenta. What letters in the alphabet is the placenta?
K or KH.
KH. And then you have KH and then the N, and you have the suit plant with the U or the W, and it spells out KHNSU with the determinative, which is a little female Ntchr. This is how you spell the names of the Ntchr, or some of the Ntchr. You have so many others, but these are the basics. Any questions before I leave this page? And it's all in your book.
I have a question, but it's not about the page necessarily. It's about the Ntchr's. I was wondering if you have like a short list of the more common daughters of Ra. Like I know Sekhmet, Ma'at are some of them.
The daughters of Ra,
Yes.
you want a short list?
Yeah, I've heard some places that the common ones are 3 daughters of Ra. I've heard 7 daughters of Ra. I'm not sure if that's accurate at all or
I would have to look into that. I just know Sekhmet. I know Sekhmet on the top of my mind.
Mhm.
There are 3 that I know of, but I would have to look into that.
do I?
And who is that that's asking?
Stephanie?
Stephanie, you got some good questions. I
Thank
think
you.
you asked something last week and I wanted to get the answer to you about the Tiet.
Yes.
Yeah. While we're here, let me get you some information about Tiet.
Okay, do I? Thank you.
And it's right in the book, Stephanie. It's on page 628.
Oh,
And
perfect.
it reads a Mdw Ntchr word associated with Osset and is often called the knot of Osset. I did indicate that last week.
Mhm.
And it seems to be called the knot of Osset because it resembles a knot used to secure the garments that the Ntchr wore. In the late period, the sign was also associated with the Ntchr Nebehet and Nut. In all these cases, it seems to represent the idea of eternal life. So that Tiet looks like an Ankh. But the difference is it has the arms are down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
And it relates to Osset. Osset is the mother of the Ntchr.
Okay, beautiful. Do I?
And now you gave me some other resource to look into, which is the Daughters of Ra. And I'll get that information. The reason why I don't want to say anything on top of my mind, because there might be some more details related to it.
Mhm.
So I would get back to you. What did I want to do? We're going to go to share screen. Oh, just in case, what we just did was on the website, that sheet that I went through with you is week 11, document 2. If you want to go back and look at those, the names of those Ntchr. Week 11, document 2. You could go right back on the website and pick up the spelling of the names of the Ntchr. Now we're going to go to week 12
Agnes,
and share screen.
Agnes.
Yes?
Oh, I was just wondering if that was a Cobra or Wajet on Sekhmet.
On segment?
On her head. I was just wondering.
Segment. It should be a cobra. Yeah, it is a cobra. And it looks like it could be the orb of the sun with the cobra, because she is the daughter of Ra. Okay? And anytime you have any question, you could do your own investigation. I can give you answers, but it would be to your benefit to do some research. 12. This is what we just went over, but you know, sometimes when you learn, you want to see certain things in different ways. And that way you can absorb it a little better. This information is new to most of us. And the more we see it, the better it is to incorporate it in our studies. So look at this. Let's look at it together. And we're going to refer to the book again. This pet, which is this figure here, is on page 76. And it's another symbol of evil and darkness. It's like a snake, if you could see it, but you could see it in your book a little better. A pep. He did battle. Ra did battle with this darkness and evilness. Now, Ra, he was known to navigate his boat from the east to the west and around into the underworld, which is called the Duat. And when Ra's boat circumnavigated the Duat, he was met by evil forces of darkness, and he had to battle his way back to the surface through the east, going into the day. But he had to battle a pet before he can rise in the horizon. You got that?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, to you.
Okay, he is shown on page 76, a pet. The next image is Bast. She is on page 85. And Bast is a lover of music, dance, pleasure. Bast is a protector of pregnant women. She also protects you from disease and evil spirits. Bast is a pre-dynastic or she's a Ntchr of the pre-golden age. In other words, she was the beginning. She was present in the very beginning of beginning. B-A-S-T, Bast. The next is one concept, which is happy, H-A-P-Y. Happy, you could go to page 91. The Ntchr of the Nile. And you have the happy of the south and the happy of the north. They represent the river Nile. Happy was also called the river of the south because the happy flows down north. Everybody remembers that the river flows down north, not down south. It's down north. It's the longest river in the world. This is what on page 91, everyone that went through that lesson on the map, I just want to reiterate what we went through, page 91 at the bottom. It says happy has three main sources: the White Nile from Uganda, the Blue Nile from Ethiopia, Lake Tena, and the Atbara River, also from Ethiopia, ancient Kash. Kemet was literally reborn annually as black silt from the waters from inner Black Africa. So you have a representative of that one source, which was happy, the river Nile. You can read all that on page 91 and 92. Here is, I just wanted to point out that when you identify these people, you would look at the head first. Look at what they're wearing, the headdress or the crown, and it'll tell you exactly who it is. So instead of me mentioning that, I'm going to question and ask you all, who are these people? Who are these powers and principles? Even though they're in a human form, but who are they? Powers and principles. Who is this? And who does this represent?
That Ma'at,
Yes. And why would you say Ma'at?
because of the feather.
Exactly. Now, you got to be careful because the ntchr has a feather also. But then you look at her body image and you say, well, this is the female principle and this is Ma'at. The next one is what what name and who does she represent?
I think that, is that neat?
Yes. Neat. And what does she represent?
Warrior.
Yeah, a war and protection and aggression. The next one, who is she? And what does she represent?
Shen.
Yes. And why would you say that?
The 7 petals.
Exactly. And what is she doing?
Writing.
So she is the ntchr of writing. She's the ntchr of the libraries, literature, art. The next one, we talked about this symbol, but she should have, she could have a sun on top of her head, or she can have a Ntchr.
Sekhmet.
Is that correct?
No, even though she looks like a lion, it's not Sekhmet.
Sekhmet.
It's not, no, it looks like,
Tefnut.
yes, yes. She can have the Ra symbol on her head, a sun, or she can have the Ntchr, Tefnut. You really have to look closely because she does look like Sekhmet, but we know by the sun and the Uraeus on her head. And who is this? And what does it represent?
Heru.
Yes. Why would you say Heru?
Because of the royalty, because it's a falcon, I would say.
And the falcon, and then they have the headdress. So you have the crown of Upper and Lower Kemet. And what is this going around here? What is that? This crown is the crown of Lower Kemet. And it's the name Biti. So you have Nusut, which is the south, and Biti is the north. In the north, they are known for Biti, which is a bee. So you associate this with the bee, the bee, what do you call this? The bee, This is the beehive. And this is the bee. What is that? What am I calling that?
Antenna?
Antenna. The bee's antenna. So it's the beehive and the antenna coming from that crown. Nisut, this is the symbol of Nisut Biti. Okay, let's go forward. Who is this? What symbol is this?
Bess.
That's Bess. You could do more reading of Bess on in the book on page 86. He has a tambourine in his hand. So he's the Ntchr of music and dance and children. He's a protector of children and family and pregnant women. But he is the Ntchr of jolly, of dance, of entertainment, and things like that. Things of that nature. And again, and Zingo, who is this?
Harry and my Kathy.
Thank you. And exactly, you can read about this on page 98. The body of a lion and the head of a Ntchr of the Nisut. And it kind of symbolizes the higher nature being in control of the lower nature. So you want to go and exemplify your higher nature, even though the lower nature is always with you, but you exemplify your higher nature, which is the crown in the head of the Nisut or the Ntchr. This figure. Okay, to move this along, I'm going to let you know what it is. But if you want to refer back to it, I'll give you the pages. This symbol is Kansu. We just wrote out his name. Kansu is on 108. He has so many regalias and so many staffs here. This is the Heka in his hand, the Nkaka, and now you have the symbol of the Ankh and the Jed and the Was. So he has multiple symbols in his hand. Go to page 108. The next one is Kanum. Kanum, he has the headdress. And I'll show you another rendition, another sample of this crown. Kanum is the molder and the maker of man. You see this image, you look at his hand. Well, there's a man on this pedestal, and he's molding this man, the first people. He's known as the molder, Kanum. 109, you could read about him. This female Ntchr is Mut. She has the crown or the headdress of a mother. And we will see some of the names of these crowns. But this is a crown showing that she's a mother, a divine mother. Nebehet, on page 119, she has the crown of Nebet Het, which is the basket, the neb, and the rectangle means it's another symbol for house. The mistress or the master of the house, Nebet Het. The next one I showed you about the Ntchr. Who is this?
Newt.
Newt. which is she just gives herself away with the head with the crown and the headdress, Newt. And the last one, who is this figure?
Pata.
But
Exactly. Whenever you see a man with the wrappings like that, and the beard and the staff, you can identify him as Bata. You have to be careful to distinguish both Asa and Bata. They look different, so you have to familiarize with their, the way they look. And that is it for. I'm gonna go right ahead because we have a lot of territory to cover. Any questions while I'm organizing something? Any questions? Can you see this website?
Here.
Okay. I'm gonna look at this real quick. 11:3. What is this? I'm gonna look at this real quick just to get you familiar with reading shens. This is called a shen. Look at my cursor right here. It's usually upright. It's also written or sketched horizontally or vertically. But how do you read a shen? You read towards the top to the knot. If this is the knot, you would start here at the top. This is upright. Start at the top where my cursor is and read down to the knot. So let's read this. Can someone tell me the nasut, the name of the nasut in this shen? If you see the board here in the N and look at your alphabet, sound it out.
New
Manchu.
men.
Yeah.
Men. That's a men, right?
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you read. And what is this second sign?
Hotep.
Say the whole word.
Minchu.
Hotep.
Exactly. And this is, can anybody tell me what this says? Where my
Time.
cursor is?
Time Mary.
Say that again?
Time Mary, the beloved land.
No, but close.
Oh,
Neb.
two lands joined together. I think it is Time Mary. No.
So this is Neb.
Nib. Oh.
Neb Tawi. This is Ta, which is a biliteral. And if you have the two of them, it's Tawi. Neb Tawi, the master of the two lands. Ta means land. If you look at your biliteral. So is the master of the two lands. This is what is the biliteral for this?
That's a D or a cake,
And what does it mean?
To give,
cake.
To give what?
Like,
give life.
Life. And jet, if you want to write it down, means forever. To give life forever. Jet is the copra, the bread, the loaf of bread, and the land is a determinative. You don't sound that out. Is DJ or JT. Jet means forever. Let's look at another one. So Ntchr. Okay, this is the S. It means the cause of. You know, the alphabet and these signs have multiple meaning. So just for your understanding, this is something that you're experiencing for the first time. So this S can mean to cause. C-A-U-S-E, the cause of the beauty. Ntchr. So we have the S here. Now we have the symbol of Ntchr. This is the stomach and the windpipe. It spells Ntchr. You can use this alone as a word, or then you could add the complements, FR. So those three symbols is Ntchr. So who is it? ntchru. That's the Ntchr. The name of the Ntchr in this shen. ntchru. He is the what? What does this say?
With Bitty.
Ntchr Biddy.
Ntchr Biti. ntchru. And he is this is Ntchr also. So you see, this is a word by itself, but now this word was spelled out. Ntchr was spelled out. This is Ntchr Ntchr, the beautiful Ntchr. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm.
What is there some, I'm sorry. Is there something in here that determines when you look at that S,
Mhm.
what in here determines that you look at it as a word or you look at it as a letter? Or is that just something
The
you have to figure out?
context. The context.
So it's a determinative in here or a complement in here that says to look
No,
at that?
you have to remember, is some things you have to remember.
Okay.
As I'm speaking to you and telling you, you just have to remember it. And when you see it again, you'll make that reference.
Okay, got it. To you. Right, well.
And then it's in context. So I'm familiar with, if this is a name, it can't be an alphabet here. It can't be the folded cloth as a, it is what it is, so that you have to put it in context. It causes beauty. The cause of beauty, which is the meaning of his name. And again, you just have to remember. And if you see it again, you'll make that reference. All right. And some of these things you just have to memorize and practice it. I'm just going to do a few more, and I'm just trying to give you some kind of practice in pronouncing words and pronouncing names, and decoding the alphabet.
Mhm.
So we have this. And now we're gonna go to the next one. Can someone sound this out? And you know, when you read from the top to the knot, and you read in the faces of the birds or the people or the animal. So we reading towards these birds.
Kawa,
Who can you sound this out?
Fawa, Kawa, Fawa.
Is what?
I
Is-
said Kawa, Fawa.
A good, that's a good try. Is KH, well, spell it out first.
KHUBU.
Here is KHUF. This is the horn viper. FU.
Yeah, L.
And,
Okay, yeah.
and who is it?
Coffee.
Okay, all right. Do you recognize the name?
Yeah, that was a pharaoh.
Khufu.
Khufu. Khufu, not coffee. Khufu.
Okay.
Yeah.
KUFU. KHUFU. Khufu.
Khufu.
Ntchr Khufu.
Till.
Give life give life towards eternity. Give life to eternity.
Is that what the double twisted flax means, eternity?
NH, it should be HNH.
Oh,
Ha ha means eternity.
Give life.
Ha means eternity. You got a sun. And this is just using your African intuition. This is like a DNA, like the substance of life. And this is the sun, the energy of the sun, and then the energy of your life, the DNA, your substance. So you're going to read these symbols as eternity. Let's go to the next one. Ntchr Biti. Jed F. Ra. The Jed column, we have that in the triliteral, this symbol here. It means stability. Well, it's stability. So this Ntchr has his name as being stable. He is stable like Ra.
Mm.
Give life
Ra.
like Ra. This symbol, see, sometimes you have to add to your vocabulary. This symbol is like a jar with a handle, and is the symbol for like, Like. This reads, give life like Ra. We'll look at that a little closer later, but that's what it reads. This
I have
is
a
one,
question.
Yes?
Is it only the shen that you read raw first? Or raw last? You write it first, but say it last.
It's not only the shen,
Okay.
it relates to any royal figure, any royal symbol,
Okay.
and the ntchr, the three high ntchr, which is Ra, Amen, and Ptah. If they are in the name, that means it's written first and spoken last. So that's why I went to the second symbol and said Jed F Ra. If this
Yeah.
was Bata, I would say Jed F Bata. If it was Amen, Jed F Amen. So it is written first and spoken last. And it could be in a sentence or it could be in a name. The concept is honorific order. I think we said when an elderly walks through the door, you open the door and give respect to the elder, that they go first. Or if a lady is seated, if the lady is trying to sit down, the man holds the chair and give honor to the lady. In other words, the royalty or the elder has preference. That's what that means. And it's in the language. It's called honorific order. I'm gonna do, even though we have some others, I'll do just one or two more. I'm gonna go to this image. This is the falcon. And who represents the falcon?
Ntchr.
It's Haru. This is one of our triliteral. Do anyone recognize this symbol?
The
Arm and a shield.
And
Yes.
say the word.
Aha.
Yes, it's aha. And it means what?
Great.
It means fight,
Or fight, right?
guard, or
Protect.
protect.
Protector. It's a guard.
So the Ntchr took a name, and the name was in this. What is this? This is a representative of palace, and his name is Aha. If you look at some of the pre-dynastic or the pre-golden age, you would see one of the Ntchrs called Aha. And he took a Haru name. And that's why you see the falcon on top of the palace and the Ntchr's name in the writing. Here's another name. The same, he takes a Haru name and his name is Nebra. This is another Ntchr. Okay. Last. This is two different parts.
Ra.
You didn't get this symbol, but it's Ursa. It is a staff with an animal head. Wursa is W-R-S or U-R-S, and is a staff. And who is this Ntchr with the feather on her head?
Ma'at.
Yes, so it's Ursa Ma'at Ra. Ursa Ma'at Ra. And the second part is Setepin Ra. Setepin, you probably don't know this, but this symbol is, the meaning is chosen by Ra. Setepin Ra, chosen by Ra, Ursa Ma'at Ra. Here is give life to all. I'm gonna stop here. That's a mouthful. You have to love this stuff. It's fun. It's fun, but you have to apply it. apply it. Try to apply it to what you like, what you do.
Before you leave that page, that one with the guard, was the lines going vertical? Did that represent like an armed guard, like
Like a
more a
what?
plural, like more than one soldier? Did that represent more? Did that represent armed guards, like more than one soldier?
What, the rectangle with the lines?
Yeah, with the vertical lines.
That represents a temple. Heru is the ruler of that temple,
Yes,
of
that
that
temple.
house, of that palace. And he's on top of the palace, ruling. And those lines are like doors. If I see the actual palace, I will show it to you. Okay?
Okay, that would be nice. That would be cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I
so-
would like to see it. In other
Yeah,
words.
sometimes you gotta see
Yeah.
it and in real
I'm-
life.
Yeah, I'm not a soldier, nothing. I'm just interested.
Some of these symbols are stick figures, but
Yes, ma'am.
that's part of the Mdw Ntchr, part of the writing.
So
'Cause
that
you're not gonna sit there and write the whole palace and sketch it
Sure.
and put
Sure,
all
but
the so that is just an ideogram of it is what it is.
But that represented more doorway, different doors and stuff
Yeah.
in the palace. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
There you
ma'am.
go. There you go. All right. I'll take a
Dia.
second to breathe.
Do I?
And we're gonna go into numbers.
Okay.
Before we go into numbers, I share my screen and just give you some information. Can you see the board in front of you? Royal names of pharaohs.
You.
And what name are we going to use instead of replace that pharaohs? What name are we going to use?
So
Beauty.
Exactly. There you go. Some of this resource and some of this information, we have to tweak it and use the correct names, the names that they use, the ancient Mdw. If you said Pharaoh, he wouldn't know what you're talking about. So he's the Nasut. All right, so each of Nasut has 5 names. You see it right in front of you. They have a Heru name, a Nepti name, which is the 2 ladies. You'll see it right here. And if you come closer, you'll see the falcon here for Heru. You'll see Nepti, which is the 2 ladies, Wajet and Nekabet. And they have a golden Heru name and a throne name, which is, we call it Nasut Biti name. And a birth name, Sa-Ra, which is the son of Ra. This can be located, take a note of this. It can be located week 11, document 4. So I'm just going to reference this, but you will be responsible for the last 2 names, which is the throne name and the birth name. Those are the 2 names, and as you read the information, you will see that let me say those most frequent. Okay, although the sequence of 5 names or titles was necessary, rarely are they actually seen used together, except on the occasion of his coronation. Of the 5 names, those most frequently used are the first 2 names, the throne name and the birth name. So here is the throne name, which is Ntchr Biti, or the birth name, which is Sarah name. You are expected to remember these 2 names of the Ntchr. For your own information, you could read up on the first 3 names. This is the names when the Ntchr is coronated, when he is crowned. And each name is a mission. So when you have some names like, look at this. When you have a Heru name like Ra Neket Tut Misut, it means that the Ntchr is a strong bull, fitting from created form. And his Nepti name is Nefer Heper Jaguri Tawi Shesheptit. And that means he's dynamic of lords who calms the 2 lands, who perpetuates all the ntchru. So each name gives him a mission, and he has to live up to that mission. These are the coronation names. The throne name and the birth name is his everyday names that people relate to him and associate him on a daily basis. Any questions? You can see it right here. Here is the Ntchr Biti name. Here is Sa'unk Ka Ra. Sa'unk Ka Ra it's his Ntchr Biti name. His Sarah name is Menchu Hotep. His Heru name is Sa'unk Tawi F. His Nepti name, the 2 ladies' name, is Sa'unk Tawi F. And it goes on like that. And you can see some of the names. So look at some of these documents and get familiar with it. I can only point it out, but when you see it in images like this on paper, then when you actually see the artifacts and you actually see the real stones that's carved like this in front of you, you can barely see it, but then you'll be familiar with this. This is a shen. The knot is right here where my cursor is. And it looked like the same name. This is the Ntchr. And it's Ursa Ma'at Ra Setepin Ra. We just read the name, but this is actually carved in stone. Any questions?
Dua.
Do I? We are having so much fun. It's almost 8:30. It's almost time to leave. And I know you have family day. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I celebrate family. I know we all have a lot to do. we still have about 15 minutes. I'm going to move on to another lesson, and that is numbers. Oh, okay. I know what I'm doing. I sent some documents to you guys, and it has numbers on it. Did you get a chance to print it out?
Yeah.
You,
Okay, bring out those numbers, because that'll be easier. It's on your email. And I'm still looking for it. Hold on. I guess this is a little break. Can everyone see the numbers in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. This is not the best, the best sheet, but it works right now. I'm going to recite these numbers, and I hope that you can repeat what I say. And it's right here in front of you. Okay? Is my cursor is right here. Wa, sunu, shamu, fadu, diu, sasu, safeku, kiminu, peseju, maju. I'm going to take the liberty to call somebody to repeat what I just did from 1 to 10. Who am I going to pick on today? Stephanie.
No worries.
It's right in front of you.
Yes. Wa, Senu, Shemut. Oh,
You
That-
said it right.
Shemut, Fedu, Diu, Seshu, Sifeku, Kemenu,
Peseju.
Seju, Meju.
Excellent. Is Indra here?
You. Okay. Wa, Senu, Shemut, Fadu, Diu, Seshu, Safeku, Kemenu, Peseju, Beju.
Tai. You want to give it a try? I'll help you. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Um,
Wa,
wa,
Sanu,
sanu,
Shamut,
sumu,
Badu,
budu,
Diu,
diu,
Sasu,
susu,
Safeku,
safeku,
Kiminu,
kamanu,
Piseju,
peseju,
Maju.
maju.
Good, good. I just keep saying it and practice, and it will be second nature when you practice. Dua. Where is Earl?
Oh, wow, Sanu, Samet, Badu,
Shamut,
Dua, Sesu, Safeku, Commit,
Kiminu,
Kimenu, Kamenu,
Piseju.
Paseju, Maju.
Good. People keep saying it over and over until you could say it like 1, 2, 3, 4. You learned it that way. Now learn this way, and it's just 10 numbers you remember, and then it goes repeated. It just goes in a circle. When you hit Maju, then you say Majuwa. Go back up to the top. Majuwa is 11. Maju Sanu is 12. Maju Shamu, Maju Fadu, Maju Diu, Maju Sosu, Maju Safeku, Maju Kiminu, Maju Peseju, Jabati. Now you're at 20. Jabati. 30. Maba Wa, Maba Sonu, Maba Shamu, Maba, and it repeats all the way down. I'm going to give you a challenge. Who can I challenge? Christopher. Christopher?
Yes, go ahead.
Recite 20 to 29. Jabati Wa.
Jabati Wa, Jabati Sanu, Jabati Shamut, Jabati Fadu, Jabati Diu, Jabati Sesu, Jabati Sekfu, Jabati Kemenu, Jabati Fizeju, and yeah, that's 29.
That's 29, and then you go to Maba, which
Maba.
is 30. That was excellent, Christopher. Look on the right-hand side of this sheet in front of you, and we have the 10 base numbers. Maju, Jabati, Maba, Hamu, Diuiu, and I'm going to stop here. 10 is Maju, 20 is Jabati, 30 is Maba, 40 is Hamu. Stop here. When you get to 50 is Diu. So at the end of Diu, you would add Diu, excuse me, Diu. EU. So you would add EU at the end. The Y is EU. Diuiu, Sasuiu, Safekiuyu, Kiminuyu, Pasegiuyu, shot, 100, shot. We're going to practice next week, but I just wanted to introduce some of these base numbers. And when you get the base, you just go to the single digits and recite each one all the way down to the 9. Any questions on that?
100 is shot.
Yes, S-H-A-T, shot, 100. I'm going to do something real quick and add some spice to your life. I really had some other stuff, but that is, as a matter of fact, we have to do this. Hold on for a second. We have to do this. Look at this. When you're writing numbers, you would write it in combination, in groups. So you want to write 1 or 2, 3, you say 3 daughters. You would write it like that, or 6 sons. You would group it. 3 on top, 3 on bottom, 6. So that's how you group your numbers. You don't do it digit by digit, side by side, but you group it. This document is week 11, document 1, if you want to see it again. This is a heel bone. It represents 10. So you have the Mdw, and then if you have 2 of these is Jabati, 3 of these is Hamu. So these are the base 10s. 100, Nzinga, this is the sign for shot. I'm going to stop right here and show you and ask you to count how many, what is the total? We're going to put the totals in here. If this is 10s, then you would just add it up. And how much is this going across? Somebody do the math and give me a figure.
71.
Yes, 71. So that would be in here. You would put 71 here. Somebody do the math. Give me the totals here.
47.
Yes, this is how you render this. 47. Okay, let's do it real quick.
95.
Okay, I trust you. I'm not it's too late to count all of that. I trust you. What is this?
23.
Okay, and this?
68.
I trust you. This sign is what? Is
100.
100.
Shot.
okay, so now total this up.
It's 156.
Good. And this?
853.
Mm-hmm. And the last one?
417. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Did everybody get that?
Yes.
Okay, if you want to look at it again, it is on document, I guess it's document 3. You'll see it in week 11. I want to do something else and call it a night. It's almost time. Can you take out your exercise 2? Exercise 2. Did anyone do the exercise? Tell the truth. Did anybody complete? Anybody complete exercise 2 that we had
think
last
I
week?
haven't.
I don't hear you. I don't hear anything, so I guess you didn't do it.
I did it. It was just a little interesting trying to put the sentence together. Because I did the translations, but I think just making it flow into a proper sentence was,
Oh, good, Stephanie. So you picked up the vocabulary words
yes. I
and
think,
and went as far as you can do, or denoted everything that you can identify.
yeah.
And then you try to form the sentence.
Yeah, yes.
That is 90% to
Okay.
identify the words. So thank you very much. It should be a little easier. Let me share screen for a minute.
Rise and shen. Ra.
Yes, yes.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, I don't want that. Can anyone see this homework in front of you?
No.
Then
Okay, let me do this again. Can you see it here?
0.
Yes? Do you?
Yes.
To you.
To you, okay. I just want to make this a little seamless. In front of you is the exercise, starting with 1. Look at this. You were supposed to draw or sketch the Mdw Ntchr, which is on top. And then you would give the transliteration on the 2nd line, and then the English on the 3rd line. So draw out the Mdw Ntchr. You start with the verb, which is to rise or to shine forth. Look at the vocabulary. To rise and shine forth. And that would be webbing. That's where you get the transliteration. And you keep looking back and forth to your vocabulary. You all know Ra. And M is in your exercise 1 vocabulary. That means in what? The horizon. Okay? And this is one of the easy ones. We did this last week. If you want to write it down, actually, I want everyone that can do this, I would like you to send it to me.
Okay.
This is homework. Write it out and send it to my email. This is the first one. We're going over it, so there's no reason why you shouldn't know it. The jed is to speak. Who speaks? A man speaks, and then a woman is silent. So it's Jed, si, ger, set. Jed, say, ger, set. A man speaks, a woman is silent. You would write out or sketch out this same way and write the transliteration in the English. The third one, the downstream is the verb. Who goes downstream? The scribe goes downstream in what? In a boat. The is towards a city. Towards what? This city. We had this and this masculine, this feminine. Nuet is feminine, so it takes a feminine particle, which is 10. Any questions? Number 4. To listen to, they have Herkin, but it's sedge. What is it? Sejim. Sejim means to hear or to listen. Who hears or listens? The scribe listens, or you're saying this scribe listens to who? Who is he listening to?
The top.
Top.
Okay, any questions?
So you want us to copy
Write it
this
out.
and send it to you?
Yeah, write it out.
Okay.
From 1 to 9, the same way you see it on this sheet. Same way you see it on this sheet. Somebody asked me, how do you write the figures? Well, you write it the same way in a stick figure. This is a good rendition of a stick figure. And just look at what the way they writing it on the paper on page 27. But this is a stick figure here. And a woman's stick figure is here. You don't have to be Picasso. Number 5. Is or are is you. That's a verb. The sun is. EU, ra. Don't look at this verbatim, because this is somebody's homework and it's not accurate. It's not totally accurate. This is EU, which is IW. EU. EU ra impet henna. What is this? Iya. Okay. EU ra impet henna iya. This means the sun is in the sky together with the moon. I wouldn't say it's in heaven, because the moon in the sky makes sense. The sun is in the sky together with the moon. The next sentence, 6. This is to know or not to know. If you look on your vocabulary, it's Kim, K-H-E-M, not to know. The scribe does not know another plan. I would say plan. It would be counsel or plan. It would be Kim, Sesh, Ki, Seker. Ki is masculine, Seker is masculine. So the scribe does not know another plan. Any questions? This is the end of the course.
This exercise 2 in the Gardner you're talking about, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
on page 37.
Okay.
And I sent it, who is asking?
That's Benjamin. Oh,
Benjamin?
yeah, I did ask. Yeah, just to
Um,
make sure, to make sure that you was talking about.
It is, and I sent out the exercise in email, but you will go to the book and go to page 37.
Yeah, I copied the wrong one. I copied exercise 1. Exercise 2.
Okay, everyone, we kind of winding up. Is exactly 9 o'clock. Any questions before we sign off?
Sabate Sanati.
What's that?
Sabate Sanati. Yes, teacher, be well.
Sabati,
Sanati.
dua. I receive it. I receive it. Before we leave, you know, this is week 8. Next week we're going to do greetings, more greetings, how to greet each other, affirmations. That's next week. And we're going to continue the numbers and continue the ntchru, and we're going to do sentence structure. So it's important that you go through the exercise that we just did and complete it and send it to me. The ones that would like to send it to me, it's not mandatory. Whatever you can do. But if you send it, at least I can see where you need help. If I don't see it, then I don't know that you need help with that. But this will give you a basis of how to construct your sentences. We're going to look at trilittles. Everything we're going to do is going to be a repetition. You know, this is new to you, so we're going to do it over and over. We're going to go through the numbers and make sure you can articulate the numbers and the vocabulary and the greetings. And that would be it for right now.
Before we go, can I just ask you about someone who I could partner up with possibly to get the information? It's Baba talking.
Who can you partner up with? Is anyone available? First of all, Baba is new. He just started. He has to really catch up with us, and he needs help. Baba, why don't you say your telephone or your email address?
Okay.
What do you prefer, telephone or email? And somebody can get in touch with you.
I could say both. I could say both. So, hi, my name is Baba Ntchr, Ntchru, and I am the priest of the temple of Ntchr here in Ojai, California. And my email is temple@Ntchr.
You know what? Can you put that in the chat? Because I don't think we're going to pick it up too quickly.
Okay.
If you can write it in the chat real quick.
Yeah, I can do that. Sorry about this.
And we it's time consuming, so we're about to sign off.
And there it is.
Okay,
just put-
everyone that's in chat, if you can help him out, that would be good. And as a matter of fact, we talked about a study group. Someone was asking about getting together studying. So that I'm not, I have ideas about it. I'm not sure how I can get it to you, but let me get in touch with the whole group. And I'll give you an idea of how to start this study group. Is
Well,
that
yeah,
okay?
I'll help them out, send as much stuff to them as I can, because that'd be like my study, helping me study too.
I
So
know when
I'll work with them.
you guys help one person out, it gives you practice.
And brother Bob, I'm gonna put my phone number in here and my email address so you'll have it.
Oh, perfect.
Also.
I'm going to be in touch with the group to give you ideas how you can study together.
I put my
Sure.
phone number in there too,
Sure.
Baba. If you text me, that'd be the
Okay.
easiest way for us to start communicating for me.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's
Sure.
good. That's good.
And Zinga, I would like to, but I have a landline. I don't carry cell phones, and so I'm not able to text. I
Oh,
could, if you can just
okay.
email me, that would be good. I don't carry cell phones. I don't use cell phones.
And I also just put my phone number in there as well. So,
Okay, I'm gonna give it a one more minute, and then we're going to sign out. Look
Are
in the
you gonna
chat and see
are
what
you-
we're talking about.
are you gonna record this lesson and send it to us?
It's recorded, and I don't send it out.
Oh, it'll be on the
You
it'll
can
be
look on the website. It will be posted.
that'll help you a lot too, Baba. Look at the recordings.
okay, most definitely. I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah, you could go all the way back to the beginning. I'm a late starter too.
Okay.
Synapti, everyone. See you next week. And we covered a lot of territory. I'm pleased with the progress. So keep up the good work. Anki Johnson Neb.
Uncle
Shem
Justin
Yim
Edna.
Hotep, Senebti, Ahatu, much mer.
Mer.
Hotel.
Mer. Mdw Ntchr.
Do I need to?
Wow.